check, check.
Am I audible? Audible? Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Before we start our panel discussion, I want to start with three numbers. And these three numbers are very important for what we're going to discuss over the next half an hour. $500 billion, $25 billion, and $625 billion. Now, why these three numbers are important? First of all, $500 billion is the number we have on the screen. That's the amount of financing the country needs in the next 5 years. That is what the Prime Minister has told. That is what the Government of India has told us. That effectively means every year India requires $75 billion of capital in this sector every year for the next 5 years. The second number I suggested, $25 billion, that's the actual capital India has received last year. 75 billion every year is required. 25 billion capital is what India has every year. So that's a $50 billion gap right away. The third number, $625 billion. That, gentlemen, if each three of you can give your own wish list of if things have to change. See, the big number which keeps me awake at night is India today, entire green financing put together is $50 billion. Green finance loan outstanding is $50 billion. China today is $6 trillion. So we are 50 billion and they are more than 100x our time. And the sad part, or you can see it as a glass half full, half empty. In 2019, China was $250 billion. So 50 billion to 6 trillion journey they did in the last 7 years. Even if we do 1/10 of that, we would reform the entire financing structures. What are your wish list, gentlemen, over the next 6 months to 3 years? How should the entire ecosystem change? What are the new things which should happen? If you can each of you articulate, and then we'll open it up for a Q&A.
We are yet to have any silicon foundry here. So we are yet to do any big investments in this country to make that ecosystem happen in this country. The moment that ecosystem is happening, automatically we will also be reaching that level. Because by doing a deployment of RE projects in the country, we are never going to achieve the scale of China, naturally, because there the things are limited. But we should have to become the manufacturers. Maybe it may be a battery manufacturing, or it may be a solar cell manufacturing, or new technologies which are in the picture. So this will definitely require huge capital. That's the reason China is getting more capital, and all the capital is getting deployed, because the ecosystem is happening there. So of late we are picking up. Obviously, government has thought in the right direction by bringing the ALMM list 1, list 2, now list 3 is going to come, wherein cell ALMM is going to have, sorry, not cell, the wafer level. So things are starting, no doubt at all, but it will take its own time, because technology, ultimately for that technology, again we are looking back to China, because the technology is available there, and they are only bringing, and because of our domestic level, we wanted to manufacture here. They are also trying. They are also making some challenges so that the technology is not available easily in the country. But still, government is doing all right things to make the internal manufacturing so that the capital deployment will be more. But again, for that, naturally, once that ecosystem is created, automatically the capital flow will be automatically there. But in the meantime, we have in front of us is a large-scale deployment of RE, which is a matured market, so it has been happening. So I think in the next 3 years, what I feel is solar will be the mainstay, and that will require the major capital deployment there. Adding to that, wind will to some extent will happen. And yes, BESS is going to pick up, no doubt at all. As of now, it is in the FTM category, the BESS is picking up. But yes, days are not that far. the BTM category is going to pick up. The BTM will start picking up. Once that picked up, that deployment will be awesome because almost all the solar plants in the country are invariably going to have a BESS. Invariably, all. So we can just multiply that. Let us take 10% of the capacity of the entire solar or the wind capacity across the country. It is going to have a minimum BESS capacity in the near future. It is going to happen because already you would have seen the last 2 days wherein 8,300 gigawatt hour of power was wasted because of the backing down of generation by the grid operators. So that shows the massive number. If you take 3 rupees per unit, you know the amount involved or the amount wasted by way of backing down of generation. In fact, that is a investment loss, right? So the immediate future, maybe in the next 3 years, I look more into solar still. Still solar has steam left to deploy for deployment. BESS definitely is going to pick up. Think now talks are starting to start the deployment of BESS in the BTM category. CBG to some extent is going to happen, no doubt at all, because of the mandatory blending requirement for the oil marketing companies. So they don't have a choice, they have to. And wind, I don't think much. Maybe the projects which are coming in the FDRE category, where are the RTC or the FDRE category, wherein they are supposed to deliver power on a round-the-clock basis. To that extent, yes, wind will support. This is what my perspective. And for that deployment, yes, private funding is also happening. Good developers are already bringing in funds through the foreign jurisdictions for deployment. Local guys, smaller guys, they are also doing financial institutions are not taking away from these smaller guys. In fact, today in SBI, we are financing as low as 3 kilowatt or 5 kilowatts solar. This is not the case earlier. To that extent, we are financing. And even a small MSME customer, we are financing him without collateral. A solar financing we are doing without collateral. We are not at all asking any collateral. You prove your project commercially viable. Only thing is the regulatory compliances as well as because today we know that almost, if I take solar, almost all our substations are full now. All the good substations have been already captured by all the major developers. So the spare capacity is available is minimum. So with that also, somebody really has done the homework and coming with a good project with the decent equity visibility. Yes, bankers will definitely finance. We have a CGTSME coverage up to 10 crores. No need to give collateral. Beyond that, if it is a project finance with the good equity visibility, 100% all the financial institutions are going to take up financing of these projects.
Thank you, Mr. Vinay. Your perspective, then Hurmaan, then we'll Q&A.
So in terms of wish list, I would personally feel we should bring back something called as what was their credit enhancement mechanism, where a large institute supports the projects, which makes them amenable for debt finance or institutional finance. So that is something that we can look forward as a recommendation to the authorities, regulations, to bring back the credit enhancement, which makes it easier for developers to tie up the financing.
Mr. Hurmaan?
Yep. I believe, India doesn't have a capital problem. We have a lot of money out there. The question is, can we attract it? We already have 3 money men here who can bring in a lot of money. The question is the project worth it? Right? And this is maybe not a wish list, but something that is like a goal for us at Circuits, is to make sure that Indians, the MSME sector and the SME sector, which represents most of the Indians, together as a chunk, can be capable enough to attract that money, right? So for me, that is where I'd like to conclude it.
Thank you. So, and I think that's a good point to end this discussion with. Every viable green project in India should get finance, should not die for the lack of finance. That should be a vision, and all of us as an ecosystem should work towards that. Thank you so much. Happy to answer any questions. We have Mr. Gentleman from SBI here. He'll be happy to, he's the best guy you can have on the panel. Shoot all the questions here. Go ahead.
Hello. Does this work? Yeah. Okay. Hello. I'm an engineer at Ather. I'm not a finance person. Just disclaimer: I'm not a finance person. My words might not be correct. Hello. Hello. Can you hear? Yeah. Okay. I'm an engineer at Ather Energy. I am not a finance person. So I just wanted to give that as a disclaimer before. My question is: I have seen a lot of. For example, the money exists, like you said, but it's possible that the money exists in the retail segment. Is it possible to mobilize retail capital to finance these green energy projects? I think primarily Mr. Jawahar can answer because he manages so much retail capital. Second question is, we tried some time back to see the finance model for putting BESS as in a CNI segment. This is FTM anyway, not BTM. In our own premises. As of today, I still believe BESS does not attract, it's still hard to get capital for BESS compared to solar or wind or any of the other renewable energy projects. Do you see that improving with policy? Do you see that improving with more capital available, foreign partners or whatever? That's my second question.
So, you want me to answer?
Yes, please.
Okay. So first thing you asked about the crowdfunding, right? That is, people are having money.
Or maybe green FDs or...
Okay, so crowdfunding platforms are there. Many people are doing through crowdfunding. Some platforms are doing, but again, fairly, since in SBI, again, since I am part of SBI, we do, when any project, any commercially viable project is coming to us, we don't find any challenge in financing it. Today I can challenge it. Any project you come with a proper clarity and everything, definitely funding is guaranteed, I can say. So that way, what somebody is very clear about the ecosystem and the project is very clear, yes, it is assured. So that way, I am not looking into the crowdfunding or people, that platforms, frankly speaking, I am not looking into it. Because we are sitting in August, right? We have already completed large-scale projects with a minimum capex securement of 20 crores and above. Already 10-15 is over. I am talking from my Bangalore side, I am telling. So that's the way we are financing, and every month we are churning like that. So that's what we are very comfortable with financing RE projects. Second point, from the BESS angle, yes, today BESS is being deployed the front of the meter category only, FTM category only, BESS is being deployed. So that also, who are all deploying? NTPC, then other major players. So wherein their balance sheet strength itself will be able to take that risk. Today, the technology maturity of BESS is yet to be tested properly. Everybody is talking about BESS with so many gigawatt hour everything, but the real degradation factors, the depth of discharge, the C factor, many things are yet to be tested in the market. The same thing was there 10 years before, wherein solar started. Same thing, where everybody was apprehensive, nobody wanted to touch it because we don't know how it works. Same thing we are in the BESS. Today, because we don't know which chemistry is going to go. Okay, chemistry, largely we are looking at the chemistry of LFP today. Sometime back we had the NMC. Today LFP has captured the market. Because availability of ferrous is okay. Only lithium is a pain point. That also they are trying. They are trying with other technologies yet to mature. But the challenge is now we don't have an in-house manufacturing of cells. Still we are relying on the chemistry from China only. Invariably, some people to the extent we are taking the cells from Korea. Predominantly it is China. If you ask any EV manufacturer you can see here, today you can see any EV manufacturer, sir, cell, China. LFP is coming from there, sir, but we really don't know. What is the capability of these each cells coming here? Like solar cells. Once upon a time, we will talk about, now in case of solar, I will talk about Trina, I will talk about Longi, I will talk about Jinko, I will talk about JA, anything. So these guys' technologies are matured. And I am assured that yes, these guys will perform properly. But same type of maturity has to happen in the cells also. Yes, these are the names. These are assured that degradation is this extent. Like in solar, we are telling you degradation. First year degradation 1.8%. Second year degradation 0.5%, 0.3%, and same level of maturity has to happen in the cell level. So unless this is thought about properly, as well as the simulation part. In the FTM part, the front of the meter application part, we are very clear. NTPC is going to, suppose NTPC is deploying the bus. They know that their generation is going to be this level. They know the charging and discharging cycle. They will take it out. But at the BTM levels or the substation levels, suppose we'll take a local substation level, wherein we have a bus deployment. Unless otherwise the grid flow study is done properly, the charging cycle and discharging cycle cannot be decided. We don't know when to charge, when to discharge. So that integration has to be there. So the market, we are waiting. Unless the proper policy level is coming from the KERC or the CERC or the local renewable energy nodal agencies, financial institutions will be apprehensive.
One small addition. What about smaller industrial players who, like you said, don't have cash flow, have bad credit rating as of today, but it's a financially viable BESS. So these people are still excluded from a lot of financing.
So again, I'm coming to the point. I understood. Now you are telling I have a equity constraint, right? I don't have the money to fund, right? But you are asking the bank to fund fully.
Yes, on a capex basis it's hard. On a opex basis it's possible, probably, if someone else takes it up.
See, the way out is, now somebody has a very good technology and somebody wanted to deploy the best. They have to, it's a time-tested technology and it's done. But they wanted to deploy it. Definitely, bank is not going to give 100% funding. Don't take it. It's guaranteed bank will not be able to give 100% funding. So the minimal capital requirement has to be. We don't have a choice. Done?
Can I know your name?
My name is Narendran Bhaskar. I am from Ether.
Navindran, I'd like to give you a food for thought, right? You were talking about small players, how can we enable funding for them, right? Think how about they self-finance themselves? Leave green finance away, leave everything away. How do these guys self-finance? What commodity do they own that can help creditors, financiers fund them, right? And that is food for thought for you, and I hope you come up with the same answer we are building up. Cheers.
See, last point before we wrap it up. I see 100% financing for a BESS for a case like yours will happen. By an NBFC bank may not do it. Today, there are asset classes which are very mature. A vehicle loan, you want to buy a car loan today or a scooter loan today, you get 100% financing. There are home loan companies who give you 100% of your house as loan, right?
Because the asset is known, right?
Sorry?
Because the asset is well known.
Asset is mature. There is what Mr. Jawahar said is actually the point. The asset is not yet fully trustworthy. Whether the life of, if I fund it for 4 years or 5 years or 7 years, what happens if the cell bursts in the 6th month, right? That certainty till the lenders get it. Once the lenders get that, then you will have all these innovative structures, including 100% financing.
Just last point. Actually, the challenge is there only because in case of a bus, suppose the capital deployment is so high, right? The capital deployment is so high, but with the returns what is available in the market, I will not be able to take back the money in the next 15 years. Assume that a 15-year time period. These 15 years my bus will have a degradation. Maybe 5 to 7 years the cells may undergo a degradation. It may have to go for a second life, and I have to do a replacement of the cells. So my cash flow has to be taken care for the replacement also, which the market is yet to give you clarity. Right? That's the reason.
Thank you so much for the opportunity here. Thank you for being a patient listener. Thank you very much.